getting all set for the start of the Classic Mini Challenge at the Silverstone Classic. Identical minis will all be fighting for the opportunity to get a podium finish. And it is number 80, Bill Solice on pole position. It's actually the green car on the left there of Bill Solice that is on pole position. Nathan Heathcote alongside him. Watch out for the red car of Ian Curley. He's always a feisty racer. Right behind, number 46, as we get ready for the start. Michael Cullen in the blue, number 67. We're all set to go racing here in the Mini Challenge, and we are underway, and it's going to be Bill Solice and Nathan Heathcote charging up towards Abbey Corner, lights ablaze, and Ian Curley up on the inside trying to go through around the outside. Laithwaite's got a really good start. Nathan Laithwaite grabs the initial advantage. Ian Curley hits the back of the Michael Cullen's car. Oh dear, what a shame. And that's caused a big gap now between the top two, and Heathcote getting a bit sideways as they went through Village Corner. Bill Solice is there right with him. Well, we saw that little bit of an accident behind Alistair, and that has opened up the gap.
A great start from Nathan Heathcote from the outside of the front row, and was able to hold on all the way around the outside of Abbey and then into Farm. But it's Bill Solice, as you say, the old man of mini racing, really. He's been around so long, he knows everything, and he's just behind coming down the Wellington Straight, so we'll see whether he can challenge as they go into the left-hander at Brooklands. They're almost side by side, but then they fall into line and into third place. Is that the green and white car of Middlehurst, perhaps? We expect Chris to pull another car going very wide. It's the 45 of David Ogden, who went very wide at Brooklands, but the rest of them streaming through Luffield, 2, 3, 4 abreast, and there's the Mini Traveller towards the track there as well.
Okay, we've got the battle up front between Heathcote and Solice. They are side by side once again. Ian Curley is survived the incident, but he is halfway down the order now. So still a big attack going on up front. Bill Solice now having the slight advantage, but only just, and it's close behind as well. The number 42 car of Chris Morgan running in third place. David Ogden up there as well. The rest of the field coming through. Number 885, Dominic Holland, coming from the back of the grid. A lot of difference in experience, of course, between many of these drivers, and tricky conditions out there as well. But it's the Heathcote-Solice battle that we're really focusing on, and it's Bill Solice at the moment. He's got the slight advantage over Nathan Heathcote. I'm wondering if Ian Curley's going to be able to come back up through the field. He's stuck in the next little group at this stage, and not making much progress so far as they slip and slide around.
I think I saw Michael Cullen at the back of the picture there as well, the darker blue Mini, the one that was spun around, so hopefully he got going again without any further damage. The leader's now turning into Stowe Corner, and then the short run towards Club, and they're coming through Stowe. They're going a bit wide there, and that gives
Chris Middlehurst.
Yeah, in fact Chris Middlehurst has come through, has he?
Yeah,
into second place. Yeah.
So Chris is going really well here. Chris Middlehurst, number 104, has joined in the battle up front. Bill is still leading. Bill Solice leading in number 80, but number 104, that is Chris Middlehurst. He started 5th on the grid. He's now got himself in a 2nd, and Nathan Heathcote trying to chase after him. End of Owens, I thought he might have got through briefly, but no, Chris Morgan, I think, just crossed the line in 4th. End of Owens right behind him, and then behind him then we've got Jeff Smith, Aaron Smith, and then Ogden not far behind. Ian Curley had dropped back. Oh, he's got the pits, so there must have been damage in the end, I think, on Ian Curley's car. It's a great shame. We did see the incident only in the background, really, at the start as they came through this section. But unfortunately, it looks as though we've lost a potential race winner already. But we've got a great run still going on up front, and it's very hard to make a break, isn't it? Bill Solice is not getting away from Chris Middlehurst, nor from Nathan Heathcote. All three are still close together. Behind, Chris Morgan is leading up that next little group of cars.
Yes, and what might happen now is they'll all close up again, because minis aren't exactly the most aerodynamic vehicles and give a good slipstream, so it often is the case that the cars bunch back up again as they turn into Brooklands, and it looked like a challenge there on Chris Middlehurst from Nathan Heathcote. Did that come off? No, it didn't. Chris managed to get back through, and they are taking a very wide line, which is trying to keep onto the grippier part of the track as they go through Luffield out towards Woodcote Corner now. As you say, Chris Morgan hanging on to the back of that leading group.
Yeah, and in the Owens actually, yes, he's in 4th place, I think, so he's done well. Hartman 20, Morgan then in 5th place, then qualified second yesterday. At the moment he's sitting there in third, but it could be a good place to sit and watch the lead battle as they head on around the Silverstone circuit. Chris Middlehurst in second place. Quick in all sorts of cars over the years, Chris, son of Andy Middlehurst.
That's right, yes. Chris Middlehurst often seen out in Formula Junior and in the historic Grand Prix cars as well. Very sideways there for car number 18, which is Aaron Smith, who is in that battle. But we said this yesterday, didn't we? As long as you keep the front wheels pointing in the direction you want to go and keep the power on, you can often bring yourself out of those sides. He doesn't seem to have lost any ground.
No, he's holding on in there. That's car control of Mini is a very special thing.
Flashing the lights there from the blue Mini in about fourth place. That's Endaf Owens, is it? Flashing his lights as they come down into Stoke Hall.
There's the number 18 car. We're wondering if there was a loose bonnet on one of the cars, though.
Yes, there is.
It's okay at the moment, although he's just lost a position. Meanwhile, up front, it is still Bill Solice just about controlling things. Look at that speed through club corner. Oh, he goes a bit wide. That might give Middlehurst a bit of a run on the exit, although he kept his foot hard down on the throttle, so he didn't actually lift, but he was a little bit more out of shape than he would have wanted. Endaf Owens actually alongside Heathcote, and actually when they crossed the line, a fraction ahead, but I think Heathcote's got back in front of Owens. So Heathcote's got back into third in the background. The blue car of Owens drops back to fourth, but Owens had fastest lap, so that put him just across the line. He nipped ahead of Heathcote briefly. Now he's dropped back behind him once more. Top two, making a little bit of a break, and again, Owens and Heathcote are still fighting, and this could cost them the opportunity to keep fighting for the lead because they're now so busy fighting for third.
Yes, that's certainly the case, and often the drivers will work together to keep up with the leaders and to get themselves back onto the back of the group of lead cars rather than lose touch by fighting each other. The rest of the field streaming through, and down now the Wellington Straight, and it's still Bill Solice leading Chris Middlehurst as they turn into the left-hander at Brooklands, and no doubt they'll slide their way through here, and then they have to go through a double apex right-hander, so they need to get over to the left-hand side of the track and then back across, but they're using that very wide wet line. But look at Endaf Owens now challenging Nathan Heathcote again as they come through Luffield.
Yeah, indeed. There's still fight for a lead, fight for third place currently, and then another group of cars that are not far behind, can't quite keep up in race leading pace now. We've got just over 12.5 minutes remaining in this mini challenge at Silverstone. Solice leads from Chris Middlehurst, using the family of Middlehurst, on turns with Bill Solice, very controlled so far. Aha, says the registration number. Is it going to be enough to get into the lead? That's the question mark. Bill Solice is still controlling things for now. Endaf Owens then in third place with Nathan Heathcote in fourth, and the rest of the field a bit strung out now, not quite as close as we saw early on. Lovely car control, the balance from Middlehurst there. Each of them looking for that tiny bit more grip. Heathcote actually, I think, is back ahead of Owens for that third place battle. Yes, he is. The blue car's dropped back down, and suddenly Heathcote finding a bit of pace actually on this lap. So whether he's found a bit more grip somewhere, maybe a special line through one or two corners where there is a little more grip. Down towards Stowe they come. Wide line, is it, on entry? Yep, that seems to be the way to go. Apex or not? No, let's stay out wide. Let's stay right round the edge and see if there's a bit more grip there. Seems to be working.
Down into the Vale they go, and then the much faster club corner than we see on in Grand Prix racing, and over to the right-hander element of club, the long right-hander. Oh, very, very wide for Nathan Heathcote, and Endaf Owens almost spins in sympathy there as they come out of club, and that's lost them a bit of time to the two leaders. But a great battle going on in the background as well. Cars starting to bunch up again. You said only half a lap ago that they were getting strung out. Not anymore.
No, one of the cars ran out very wide there into the gravel trap, managed to still get back on. I didn't quite see who it was, but lost a couple of places as a result, but thankfully they still pulled themselves out of the gravel. So great action, great fun and games still going on here, but it can go any way between these four, really, I think, especially the way that Heathcote suddenly called back up and set fast his lap. Chris Middlehurst trying quite hard now, but just losing out a little bit as the track dries up. Bill using a lot of curve there, cutting across the curbs, and that clearly works in a Mini when you're really on a charge, as long as there's enough dry surface. When it was wetter, they were avoiding that now. Heathcote's got a bit of a run on Middlehurst. Yeah, look, Heathcote trying down the inside into the left-hander at Brooklands. Late breaks. Can he still maintain the speed? I think so. He's going very deep, very wide. Oh, right out to the white line, but he takes second place.
And now Chris Middlehurst trying to get a challenge around the outside of Luffield and maybe get a quicker run down the old pit straight into Cops Corner and see the different lines they're taking there. Middlehurst trying much wider line, then End of Owens just in the background. So now it's Heathcote up into second, Middlehurst down to third, Owens still in fourth. Of course, leading all of them is Bill Solice up front, and the two behind are slowing each other down. Bill Solice is making a break, isn't he?
He is beginning to make a break. Yeah, beautiful. He's got this wonderful design. This little transverse engine sitting over the front wheels, front-wheel drive, of course, which has a big counterpart to the driving skills. But if you can stay on that throttle, as we were saying in the wet, it will normally pull you out of any angle that you can get to get it completely sideways. But keep your foot hard on the throttle. Those front wheels will pull you out of drama. But if you do it too much, of course, you can lose time by doing it. That lovely little slide in the background there from End of Owens in the number 20 car. I love the blue colour on that machine. Meanwhile, Bill Solice has still got the edge in the background. We can see Morgan is still running in 5th place, and Jeff and Aaron Smith, they're running 6th and 7th at this point. And then in the next little section, we've got the number 100 car of Ollie Streak. Oh, again, Middlehurst and Heathcote are going together for this second place battle. The gap to the leader, though, now 1.6 seconds.
And Aaron Smith managed to nip through past Jeff Smith there on that lap, so
right.
1 place up and 1 place down for Jeff Smith into 7th, but they're still running nose to tail as this battle for second place. Look at End of Owens, it's so sideways, but controls it, keeps it just about within track limits, and now making their way up the Hamilton Straight. There's the leader, Bill Solice, at the front of your picture, but it's the great battle between Nathan Heathcote and Chris Middlehurst, and then End of Owens is starting to get back on terms with those two as he makes his way through the right-hander at Abbey, then the left-hander at Farm, and then up to the tight right at Village, and through that right-hander again. Chris Middlehurst looks for the much wider line as we see a whole gaggle of cars coming up the main Hamilton Straight.
Nick Paddy, car number 88 there, and he's running down in 14th place, but part of quite a big group, as you say, of cars that are doing their thing. And wherever you are in this grid, really, you're going to have fun and games, because there's always going to be another competitor with you who's got a similar kind of pace, and it's up to you to try and either fend them off or find a way through. Number 31, Jonathan Page is the car he's racing against. Jonathan going one way, then the other, looking for a wide line, then the tight line. But as I say, that's what's so wonderful about a single make series like this. You're always going to find someone to race against, whatever level you're at, whether you're at the front level, the Solice, Heathcote, Middlehurst bunch up front, or whether you're at a slightly different level further down the order. Number 100 car that we're looking at, Ollie Streak, he's in that top 10 battle as well. Fastest lap from Nathan Heathcote on this last lap, but he's still involved in the fight for second with Chris Middlehurst at this stage. Bill Solice in control, just under 7 minutes to go. Is he going to be able to hold on to the checker flag? We might see a sudden change at the end. Now, he has got command of this race over this tight battle behind.
Through Maggots up towards Beckett's, still Bill Solice leads from Nathan Heathcote, but look at Chris Middlehurst right on the boot lid now of Nathan Heathcote through Beckett's, and quite a bit of sideways motoring there for Chris Middlehurst. Runs the car out wide through the exit of Beckett's, now through Chapel onto the Hanger Straight once again. The 4 cars still very much in the lead battle, but Bill Solice has just got that bit of a gap. He's just managed to break away enough to perhaps defeat the tow from the car behind, which is at the moment Nathan Heathcote, followed by Chris Middlehurst, and then we'll see the sideways motoring End of Owens come into picture very shortly. There he is, sliding across the picture. Now Middlehurst is having another go as they go down into the Vale, now into the left-hander. Will he go up the inside? No, he stays behind, and maybe he'll have a go up the Hamilton Straight. He's trying to take a tighter line, but the car doesn't want to go tighter. End of Owens going into the next county and out onto the Hamilton Straight.
Yeah, wonderful. He has this style in him. He's got such good car control. He actually overdoes it because he's losing a little bit of time. But it's almost as if he's just, I'm just out to enjoy myself. Actually, I have to say, hey, Heathcote's done another really good lap because he's caught the gap up a little bit to Bill Solice. The gap when they went across the line that time was only 0.5 of a second. It had been over a second. And sometimes when you're the one chasing, you're in a better position because you're watching that car up ahead. Bill goes quite deep there. That was a little error. We haven't seen him go quite that deep until now. And sometimes you could be an advantage being the one following, just seeing what the guy in front's doing, where he's getting it right, where he's getting it wrong, and then putting it all together in your own car. And I think Nathan is doing that well at this stage. This race is not over.
Absolutely not, no, and it's such a critical exit from that tight left-hander at the loop through Aintree, because that leads on to this long Wellington Straight into Brooklands, and if you don't get the line right up there, then you're slow all the way down the straight. But Bill Solice managed to get that right because he stayed ahead of Nathan Heathcote, but Heathcote looking to challenge as they come up towards Luffield. Through the right-hander they go. Right there as well is Chris Middlehurst, and I wonder whether Middlehurst...
Oh, Solice a bit wide there.
Yes, again, but that's that line he likes to take, isn't it? He's very wide.
Did work.
And Middlehurst hasn't really been challenging for that second place. I wonder if he's just letting Nathan Heathcote close up on the lead.
It could still change around. We shall wait and see. There's still a little way to go before we know who's going to win the classic mini challenge at Silverstone. Very much a sprint race in these tricky weather conditions. We've got a little bit more cloud around. Potential rain coming up, not just yet. I think we're going to end this race okay. I am looking further away, and there's potential rain coming up later on. Some of the other races that we've got heading our way soon. But for now, it's Bill Solice who is leading. Nathan Heathcote in second position. Then Chris Middlehurst still in third, and then the rather wild Owen's doing his wonderful job in fourth place of throwing that little blue car all over the road and still maintaining control. And these four have definitely made quite a breakaway from the rest of the opposition. They will be coming around. I am sure it'll be going on to their final lap when they do cross the line next time. They're doing a lap time around 2 minutes 50. I think we'll be just under that when we see them come across the line. Only just. It's going to be a bit marginal. Let's just see as they come over the line. Coming into Club Corner now.
Bill Solice just taking a huge chunk of curb there and almost on the grass on the inside of Club Corner, and Endaf Owens just getting wilder and wilder, isn't he? He just loves to fling that car around. It was pretty marginal, but I think you're right, this probably is the last lap, isn't it?
It is going to be close. I think it's only going to go to zero just as they get to the last part of the lap. So yeah, I think it will be the last lap. We'll have to wait and see. Solice has the edge still over Nathan Heathcote in second place, and then Chris Middlehurst in third. Chris has been a very smooth, controlled race, but he knows that he's beginning to run out of time now. They will have seen the clock ticking away. They know this could well be the last lap, likely to be the last lap, and so you've got to make your challenge now. You've got to go for it. Really worth taking a little gamble or two without getting too carried away. You don't want to take yourself out. Heathcote with the fastest lap in this race so far, and it was that last lap, 2 minute 50.4. Bill Solice did a 2 minute 50.6, as did Middlehurst. He did a 250.6, and Owens did a 250.5. Amazingly close in terms of lap time. Really, there is nothing between these guys, and they are all still putting on a show.
Yeah, and Nathan Heathcote, I think he's wound himself up for a challenge now, hasn't he? It could well be the last lap, or then again it could be the penultimate lap, depending how quickly they get round. But he's going to go for it on this section now. He's close to Bill Solice as they come through. He's just a little bit wide there onto the curb. The back flicks out, but Chris Middlehurst in third place, Endaf Owens in fourth place, but Bill Solice it is who still leads. A chance here into Copse Corner for Nathan Heathcote, perhaps as he comes up behind Bill Solice. They make their way through there. Middlehurst there, flinging his car through as well.
So we do think we're into the last elements of this race, and Bill Solice thought he's been in control from the beginning, but not by much. It's still a question mark as to who's going to end up taking the top step. It could be any one of these three. Oh, bit of a mistake there from Heathcote. Got a little too sideways. Now Solice gets a bit sideways, but sort of carries the speed with him. There was just a little error, and fair enough to Nathan. It was worth a bit of a gamble. He had to find a bit more pace. If anything, it just cost him about half a second, I would say. Has opened up the gap a little bit. Solice feels confident that he can move right out to the edge of the track, coming down towards Stowe Corner. The clock is ticking away. 25 seconds to go. It's likely to get to 0 before they cross the line, which means this will be the last lap. Solice has just got enough of an advantage at the moment. Clock ticking away. Is the checker flag going to be out? It's going to be pretty marginal. Will they have to do another lap? We'll wait and see. I think it's just going to go to 0 before they get to the line. 3, 2, 1, 0. So I believe we're going to see the checker flag coming out. There it is. And Bill Solice takes victory in the Classic Mini Challenge here at Silverstone, beating Nathan Heathcote by 0.79 of a second. A wonderful fight, and Bill controlled it, but my word, it could have gone anyway. Heathcote second, then Middlehurst third, and Endaf Owens in fourth place. One of the most entertaining performances of all, and a great final lap actually. Owens got the fastest lap right at the end, at 2 minutes 50.1. Well done, guys. That really was highly entertaining and thoroughly enjoyable.
Bill Solice, I'm going to come to you. The results will show that you're in the lead for pretty much all of the race, but it wasn't that easy, was it?
No, it wasn't. To be honest, the car was just easy to drive, really. You know, although the track's wet, there's plenty of grip actually, and I was afforded the luxury of just being able to look at the track and try and study the grip, and yeah, just, you know, there was no dramas to deal with really. Obviously I had a variety of challenges behind me. They were all playing it fair, and that's brilliant. So it was just a race all the way, you know. I thought there was another lap to go, so I can't tell you how thrilled I was when that was the end. It was brilliant.
No one's ever been happier to see the checkered flag.
No.
Nathan, we'll come to you next. You must have used all of your rallycross experience in those few laps.
Yeah, it was brilliant fun, and you know, I went back a few places at the start, and I thought I've got to get my head down and try and catch back up with Bill. And I caught back up with him towards the end, and then made a mistake. But it was, yeah, it's brilliant fun, and I'm enjoying driving these minis. Like it's mega.
More than any other grid, you drivers always have a huge smile on your faces when you finish. Chris, they were difficult conditions though, weren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. The first lap, first corner was just mayhem. You know, there was minis flying everywhere. I managed to keep going. Got past Nathan, and then I was catching Bill, but couldn't quite get on the back of him really in the toe. But I missed a gear coming out of the third corner, and then Nathan just sort of came past me. And I was trying to catch back up again, but it's just so hard out there. But big thanks to Owens Fabrication for giving me a great car, in particular Endaf, and of course Swift Tune as well, the engine.
Well done to all of you.